Respected delegates, I'm Debolina C Bakshi. I teach English in Shiksha Valley School, Dibrugarh, Assam. First of all, by the very word English, you must be wondering what is an English teacher doing in a mathematics conference. Frankly speaking, I have been asking this question to myself for a long time. In fact, I think I deserve some credit for surviving in a sea of, mathematical enthusiasts. So I think I deserve some credit. In fact, the more I'm watching the presentations, the more I'm getting attracted to mathematics. So just to be on the safe side, I do not have a background in mathematics, it's purely English. But then yes, I have tried to make a presentation, try to draw a link between mathematics and poetry. Because again, taking cue from the previous presentations, Madam Pranita Singh, she has also said this, that all the subjects are correlated. In fact, you cannot study a subject in isolation. You need to study subjects together. So it has to be an interdisciplinary approach. So there has to be a correlation between the subjects. So let's start. So please. Starting with the beginning of school life, when children are really scared how to count. They are scared and they really fear how to start counting. So what we do is that we teach them nursery rhymes. In fact, I learned counting with the aid of a nursery rhyme. I'm sure most of you pretty much know this. It goes something like this. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, shut the door. 5, 6, pick up the sticks. 7, 8, lay them straight. 9, 10, a big fat hen. So we learn this nursery rhyme without realizing that we have actually learned to count from 1 to 10. How cool is that? Thank you. So please. We come to rhyme and rhythm. Speaking of rhyme, I think almost all of us know what rhyme means. When words are rhyming with each other, correspondence of sounds of words matching with each other in terms of the way they are pronounced. So let's move on to rhyme, please. So there is a rhyme for subtraction. I have actually discovered somewhere. It's not mine. I have discovered it somewhere actually. A lot of children, again, when they're very young, they're scared of subtracting. In fact, I was very scared to learn how to subtract numbers, especially subtraction and division brings out the fear from an individual. So I was really scared. Now I, repent that I wish I had a teacher who taught me how to subtract with the aid of a nursery rhyme or a poem that actually rhymes. For example, 5 enormous dinosaurs letting out a roar. 1 went away, and then there were 4. 4 enormous dinosaurs crashing down a tree. 1 went away, and then there were 3. 3 enormous dinosaurs eating tiger stew. 1 went away, and then there were 2. 2 enormous dinosaurs trying to run. 1 ran away, and then there was 1. 1 enormous dinosaur afraid to be a hero. He went away, and then there was 0. So you've learned how to subtract numbers. So next slide, please. We come to rhythm. Rhythm is a very basis of life. Rhythm, you cannot live a life without some element of rhythm existing in your life. For example, when we learn multiplication tables, when I was very young, my mother used to force me to learn these multiplication tables, and I actually learned quite a lot of them because there was rhythm in them. For example, 7 ones are 7, 7 twos are 14, 7 threes are 21. There's a rhythm. Do you see that? The rhythm helped me learn quite a few of these multiplication tables. Coming back to poetry, rhythm is a strong, regular, repeated pattern of movement or sound. Rhythm equals to stressed plus unstressed syllables. Now I'll tell you what syllables is. I think most of you know. Syllable is a unit of pronunciation which includes a vowel with or without the surrounding consonants. So we'll go a little further into syllables. Here we have examples of 3 words which have syllables. I have highlighted the stressed syllable, this, and the other one which is unstressed. I haven't highlighted that. So in other words, stressed syllable is a syllable where your voice goes a little higher in pitch, and an unstressed syllable is where your voice goes down. So we have water, inferno, and apple. Again, water has 1 and 2. 2 syllables, 1 unstressed and 1 stressed. Inferno, fa is going up, stressed syllable. We have 3 syllables in inferno, and we have 2 syllables again in apple. Talking about poetry and numeric formula. Some of the forms of poetry actually use numeric formula. How? For example, there is a very famous form of traditional Japanese poetry, which was earlier called hokku poetry, which was further given some shape by a very famous Japanese poet named Matsuo Basho. He came up with a 3-line form of poem, 3 line only. And the 3 lines have 17 syllables. First line has 5 syllables. The second line has 7 syllables. And the third line has again 5 syllables. So it's a 5-7-5 combination that again falls within a formula. There's a pattern following here. So here it is, is an example of haiku poetry, and all silent bond. I've divided them into syllables, if you have seen that. 5 syllables in the first line, 7 syllables in the second line, and again 5 syllables in the third line. But again, you cannot restrict poetry into mere mathematical formulas. If you do that, poetry will lose its creativity. That is why there is another haiku poem that does not follow the strict 5-7-5 combination. The first line has 5 syllables, the second line has 6 syllables, and the third line has 7 syllables. Next is a sonnet. Most of you probably know that a sonnet has 14 lines, which has each line having 10 syllables. Our very own national anthem, Jana Gana Mana Yadi, is a sonnet of 14 lines, which was composed by the great poet laureate of India, Rabindranath Tagore. I have taken examples from Shakespeare's sonnets. You will be surprised to know that Shakespeare's subtracted, added, in order to come to a perfect rhythm of sonnet as well as play. So here we have some examples of Shakespeare's sonnets. You must have seen, I have highlighted the stressed syllables, whereas the unstressed syllables are left black or unhighlighted. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of syllables, and you must have seen there's a pattern to it. The pattern is such that every unstressed syllable is followed by a stressed syllable. Here you have an unstressed syllable, here is again a stressed syllable. So there are 5 groups of syllables, each containing 1 unstressed followed by 1 stressed syllable. Can you move on, sir? Taking you again from one of Shakespeare's sonnets, there are 10 syllables here, 5 groups, 10 syllables, 5 groups. Iambic pentameter, penta is 5 and meter is a group of syllables. Coming down to mathematics once again, he was very meticulous, very particular about these 10 groups of syllables. 5 groups of syllables containing 10 syllables each. Iamb means 1 unstressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable. That's how we come to iambic pentameter. If you further try to find out about this, you will come to know that Shakespeare actually used iambic pentameter for most of his plays and poems. Next we come to yet another kind of poetry, which is called cinquain, which was developed by a famous American poet, Adelaide Cripsey. Cinquain is a kind of poetry where you're going to write only 5 lines and none of the lines should match. So here again, you cannot increase it by 1 line or decrease it by 1 line. It has to be strictly of 5 lines. Next we come to symbolism in maths and poetry. For example, Robert Frost's 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. I'm sorry, I could not travel both. When Robert Frost says that there were 2 roads which were diverged in a wood, he did not really mean that wood was yellow. It actually could mean the later years of the poet's life, or a point of time when he gave up work, he was retired, and then he came across this, introspection. He had this idea that, I took a different path, I took a different road, a different choice. The roads probably resemble 2 choices. That is completely symbolic. It has got nothing to do with the literary meaning of either the yellow wood or the roads. Similarly, in mathematics, it could be, I'll just take it one example, it could be any graph, it can be anything. The pie charts, the graphs, the bar diagrams, whatever you do, these actually symbolize something. They're not literal representations, but they are symbols. The variables that you use, they're actually symbolizing something. So here we have again some similarity between mathematics and poetry. Next is the intersection between poetry and math. Let's see how poetry and math intersect. A snowball is a poem in which each line increases or decreases by one letter, word, or syllable. For example, this. I've divided this poem, Snowball, in the shape of a snowball. It's a snowball, it's called a snowball poem because the structure is so. So here I've divided into syllables. The first line contains one syllable, second, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Starts with 1, moves on to 5, then again it follows a descending order and moves on to 1 again. That's called a snowball poem. And if you tilt your head a little, you might just see a quadrilateral. Do you see that? I'm not very good in maths, so you'll be able to tell better actually. So, next we have the famous Fibonacci sequence where every term is the sum total of the previous two terms. Fortunately, my students helped me with this. We have 1 plus 1 is 2. Again, 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. So this moves on. Of course, if you have a poem on a Fibonacci sequence, it might never end because this is like a continuous addition of the terms. So I have found a Fibonacci poem containing 20 syllables. Here it is. I wrote a poem on a page, but then each line grew by this word sum of the previous two until I started to worry at all these words coming with such frequency. Because as you can see, it can be easy to run out of space when a poem gets all Fibonacci frequency. So this poem is called a Fib poem. It has 20 syllables and this follows the Fibonacci formula again. In conclusion, Einstein once said that pure mathematics is in its way the poetry of logical ideas, just like mathematics has a sequence. Every step is a sequential, it follows sequentially from the previous one. Similarly, poetry is also very, very sequential. They are both intersecting and very much similar, but that is very subtle at the same time. So we can say to some extent that math and poetry are two inseparable entities. These are the references I've used. I'll leave you with a famous golden fib, a golden Fibonacci poem by the famous Gregory K. Pincus, where again I have actually written the number of syllables here, 20 syllables for this poem. One small, precise, poetic, spiraling mixture, math plus poetry, yields the fib. Thank you very much. Thank you.